So we have to clear up a couple things in the first two speeches. Better? Sounds good? Okay. We have to clear up a couple things from the first two speeches. So the first thing is Sarah's comment that she was the reason they got together. I still maintain that I introduced them, so it was me. But Sean has told me that since Sarah got pregnant, he hasn't won an argument, so I might just let this one go. The second one is, though Dan was saying that I was part of the whole covert op of Johnny, and I was a pawn in this plan. But I was part of the covert op. I was a pawn out of the chess.
Sure, son.
Yeah. So I get the honor of getting to tell the story of how Johnny and Jenny met. They knew each other before this, but this is when everything that led to this day really started. So over time, as most stories do, Jenny and Johnny have altered a bit. But I'm the only impartial viewer, so you can be pretty confident that my story is cool. So Johnny was my friend first, and I brought him to Grand Bend. And so in my entire friendship with John, we had two arguments. One was over hydroplaning, which I don't even really know what that is. And the other one was that day. Johnny just got out of the shower, and he didn't want to go swimming in Grand Bend in the water. There was big waves, and I did. So I was like, Johnny, we have to go. He just wanted to sit and play PlayStation. We argued, and finally gave in, what you'll get used to, giving into him Tuesday. And yeah, he gave in and we went down, and then me and Lisa went in the water, but Jenny was also being salty and sat at the beach. And Jenny and Johnny talked. And to this day, I have no idea what was said, or whatever it was about Johnny. And that night, Johnny and me always had these long kind of conversations, became our kind of trademark. And that night, he kind of confessed that he had a crush on my sister. And I remember thinking, even then, that's pretty weird, pal. But I let it go. You know, he was telling me honestly that he had a crush on my sister, and I listened to his stories, and he's kept going. And this grew and grew and grew, and Jenny and Johnny became friends over time. And I remember before they had the first date, John had told me they thought he was in love with my sister. That was before the first date. And Johnny was only 15 when this all started, but he was sure. And eventually they did start dating. And despite all the fights I'm sure they've had and all the troubles they went through, I can still see the 15-year-old Johnny, who sure he loved my sister before the first date, still loves her now. Jen, I don't have time to thank you for everything you do for me. I have a longer speech. We're a mismatched team. You do a lot for me, and I really don't get much in return. You and Johnny are the people I call when good news is bad. You know, you're involved in every one of my major decisions. You listen to every rejection acceptance letter I've ever gotten from school. You're my consult on any good news or bad news I get. And you help me pick up clothes for dates. And then hear the story after the date where I spill an entire large Coke with my date. And then they reassure me, don't worry, she's still interested. That particular girl was not. Jenny spends more time worrying about me than she does herself. And I really don't know if I'll ever have enough time in my life to repay you for everything you do for me, but you don't ever stop appreciating it. One of the arguments me and Jenny get into is we're different in one way is Jenny is very particular about every detail, everything has been planned. And I always tell her, like, stop stressing about details. You can't hear? Okay. Try that. I always tell Jenny to stop stressing about details, like everything will work out. It always does, but she can't help it, and this wedding was no exception. Every single detail was meticulously planned and worried about and crafted. And although I usually tell her not to worry about this kind of stuff, this was one time I was wrong because this wedding day is perfect and you deserve it. Except for the rain, but it wouldn't be your wedding day if it didn't rain, Jen. Johnny, you've been a part of this family for a long time, but now it's official. I knew this day would come, so about 5 years ago I started writing a list of things that Jenny will do to annoy you once she's part of the family. I was going to print it for you and give it to you, but Staples only had 3 crates of paper left. So I'll just, you have a big circle bar title for pass on. One rule I've had in Jenny's life is her health advisor. She comes to me with all her ailments that don't exist. They might, I don't know, they usually. Some of my favorite ailments Jenny's had over the years. I'll just go through the list here. She's had rosacea, dermatitis, eczema and acne, diabetes and hypoglycemia, hypo and hyperthyroidism. Those last four should like balance each other out, Jen. She's had 40 different allergies, the most recent to gluten. She thought she had heart failure, heart attack, heart arrhythmia, and last week she thought she had a stroke, as she said, her eye felt droopy. She had anemia, hemophilia, and pancytopenia, and my personal favorite, toe cancer, which, for those of you wondering, no, that's not even a thing. All jokes aside, though, Jenny is someone who will care for you for the rest of your life, Johnny. You deserve it, and know you repay the favor I couldn't have. People often ask me if it's weird having your best friend marry your sister, and I always say no, it's actually really convenient. Anytime I have a problem, I just have one number to call, and two people to help me with anything I need. Every guy has about 100 friends that they would not want to end up with their sister. And then they have a select couple of friends that they would. You're definitely in that second category. Kind of misread it.
Who's in your friends?
Pretty much everyone at that table. Yeah, he's one of the best people I've ever known, and I couldn't be happier he's married Jenny. Right now, the cool thing about a wedding is there's literally a room full of people who are just here to celebrate that you guys are spending life together, and I'm certainly no exception. How often in life you get to see your best friend marry the girl he's been in love with since he was 15, on the same day you see your sister marry the only guy he thinks good enough for her. John and Jen, you've literally done more for me than I can ever repay. And when I heard you making your vows today, just one thing became really clear to me, and that'll be my toast.
Good, JP.
John and Jenny, if you can be half as good to each other as either one of you have been to me, marriage will be a piece of cake.